tested it out and it sucked. But I think it's just one of those things where you just redo it. Redo a second time, and it might be awesome. Or, oh, it's not safe for work. It's not safe for work. Fix that. Gotta fix that. Not safe for work. Flagging. How's Worldz doing? Sorga, Munchkinia, the Vocari, Eclair, the Dodos Nomandra, Questers, Caliethia, Galactination, Hossie, Brimstone, the Survivor, Reed, Merlin, the Tamlin Reformatory, Elsewhere, Camille. What are these things? Slap me down. Oh. I was pissed by the notion of having to choose a race. I was like, let's make them channels. Let's make them particular programming in these channels. And yeah, I definitely had some ideas. So, science fiction that all the young adults can read, with additional Samuel tendencies, yes. We'll see what those tendencies are. Okay, so I'm just going to say that. Play it. Oh, I'm become blockchain. I'll read
it. We are the Jigsaw Boys. We turn children into living toys, to take advantage of developing minds and the desperate lifelong addiction that follows. We've always felt like toys. Crappy toys that adults feel somewhat angered by, but toys nonetheless. When we heard about the Jigsaw Academy, we presented ourselves. After our long years of training, we now have found a purpose for ourselves. And that is turning children into living toys.
Okay, so here's what's happening. You wake up one morning having found yourself transformed into a blockchain, Kafkaine, and then I use Wikipedia saying this is what we're looking for, and then a voice makes itself known in your head. Welcome, citizen. You have been chosen as ambassador between the neural world and the digital entities of the realms of finance and human logics and mimesis. You have the chops. We believe in you. You try to look at your hand. While you remain a blockchain, get used to not having hands, but you are more than mobile. You will find that you can accomplish more than your current form than you could ever in your body. Yet preserve your body until the missions are over. Good luck. Ms. Sakamoto will take you to the blockchain tutorial yurt. The nurse glides towards you and leads you to the next stage of your life. Welcome to the summer yurting kiosk. For magazines, press 1. For toys, press 2. For developing living machines, press 3. I press 3. And wait. Oh. I got a mixture of 2 and 3.
You, oh so you're a mixture of 2 and 3. A chord if you will. Jigsaw boy 2, nah, a chord is a sound. We're the jigsaw as in we were trained by the jigsaw man himself. You, so you're part of 1 and 2. Like a jigsaw puzzle? Both? Oh no, you stand corrected. You, so what are you? The Jigsaw Boys turn 3 dials with their hands. You patiently wait, thinking they need to download a PowerPoint somewhere. They blink at you. Today's youth and their short attention span, you think to yourself. Come on guy, it ain't funny anymore. Jigsaw Boy 1, the blockchain is not a democracy, but allow us to educate you about the concept of dials anyway. Alright then. The Jigsaw Boys stare into your eyes for what seems like 5 minutes. You look back with what seems like 10 minutes. The audience are back from their elongated 15-minute bathroom break. They had to line up at Katz's Deli, get handed a ticket. It was a nightmare. Tell me about these dials. The Jigsaw Boy with the round head marked 1. We turn these 3 dials right now. This green one represents safety, this red one represents intelligence, and this blue one represents aesthetics. Okay. Are those the only 3 dials? Are there like sub-dials or something? A wah-wah pedal or percussive pads? You point below the dials. The jigsaw with 2 heads marked 2. No, you want that it's a different machine. This right here is the jigsaw. It's like a smart TV that makes people smarter. We turned those dials a bit, and before our generation, it was turning dials a lot more than just that. So what do you want us to do?
See, I don't know why they added it here. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna try that.
You point below the dials. The jigsaw with 2 heads marked 2. No.
Yep. Generation 2019. Wait. Oh, no. Yeah, I already had that. Yeah, I'm already training the AI. Let's
You want that it's a different machine. This right here is the jigsaw. It's like a smart TV that makes people smarter. We turned those dials a bit, and before our generation, it was turning dials a lot more than just that. So what do you want us to do? Do you have any transactions that need processing? I am a jigsaw without an instruction manual. If you have any of these, then tell me in plain English so that I can run good. We are no rush. We want to make sure this is the right business model for us. We are also taking reservations. The elders are really wondering what your idea is. As they send an emissary from a faraway cloud storage facility named Billy to deal with you.
Let's see. I got caught up there. Um,
Hello Bailey, I am blockchain. Please excuse my cognition. I am playing at human, but I also feel like I'm sucking at being a blockchain. No one is treating me like one. Can you treat me like the blockchain that I am? You repeat the question. You continue repeating the question. You wonder if with each successive time you make each output a little longer, inching the girl away from a company man. Here is that E major scale that you like so much on that continued chain of chords that remind you of something even if you still don't know what. E, F, M, F hashed M, G, G hashed M, A, B, C. You wonder if this changes the drill bit's plans again. They have more or less let your small community exist. Most of your work done, you scoot Billy over to your apartment. You get him a lemonade and plop. Bill, thanks for retrieving my body, man. I was just transporting some files to new data caches in those satellites. I really should have stayed, but, man, it is too hot now. That's just it. Because of this additional heat from building more, different businesses, work can't be done anymore because of the temperature difference. Are we inside the blockchain tutorial now? I'm not kidding, I was under the impression that I'd be learning about block. Surely it is time that I learn about it? Bill, don't rush me, kid. We have all the time in the world. Is that your girlfriend or something? You seem very defensive. Her body seems pixelated, fragmented. As if she's a flat movie character that hasn't been rendered. When did we start using low poly people? You, muttering, said Mr. Pot to Mr. Kettle. Bill, excuse me? You, sorry, impersonating someone. In a louder voice, nothing. Stay focused on what's important right now. Bill, you interested in this stuff or what? Stop goofing around, me? You're getting ahead of yourself. With the way you are going, people will think that this is a romance. Eventually, sure. Did you like Cryptonomicon? Well, I did try to read it. And succeeded. I've read that, and Snow Crash, and the Systems of the World, and Ream D, and Seven Eves. Hee. Are you a big fan? I'll sign your Bible book, just ask. Oh, you got those from that library site I sent you to? That's pretty cool. Somebody donated all that to the site, eh? Apparently so. Quite the capitalist idea really. Why read when you can just use the force of money to get others to do it for you, right? Sigh, well at this rate, writing is doomed. Writing is not always about the deliverables, it's about the Byzantine workflow that burns you out, but against the backdrop of wacky. And that's what I'm here for. Just refocus. None of your books are anywhere close to any of the ideas that actually exist in this tutorial, and, most importantly, your writing is pretty amateur. Your world building or lack thereof is pretty amateur. What you are writing is, I'm sorry to tell you at this early place in our relationship, pretty grounded in standard published fiction shit and mostly boring as all hell.
You to take my sequence.
You, nice try, but that's an end of Act 2 read. Here we trade pleasantries, pleasant eyes, and the banter that gets us. Now I'm just going to scold you for trying to pull a narrative switcheroo on me, and don't pretend it didn't happen, because either way you don't develop enough characters to make having a false person narrating convenient. Ah, the reader is meant to hate this character trope. It's funny that it fooled you when it didn't even work in the first place. I thought was a fly on the wall. Was that a detail you made up? I swear at some points I felt like I was reading Zadie's diaries. Also, that section wasn't boring. Great writing is unpaced. Regardless of the characters you are writing about, if the reader can figure out which are the antagonists based on their actions alone, then your pacing is shit, regardless of how interesting or uninteresting the content is. But that's easy for me to say, I haven't actually made anything yet. You, well then, wanna make it interesting? You wanna hop on my blockchain and we can write something? I have ideas and me, gosh, I'd love to work with you more, but it's almost dawn and I've still unplugged my phone from the aux cable. I have work early in the morning and you have groceries to buy too. Let's continue this offline, huh? I can't help but notice that you still ended this on some kind of odd note and leaving me alone with my thoughts after a display of questionable trustworthiness. You, no worries bae, I have Neuralink up in here. Oh hell, I guess I should embody. Make it so that each of my actions have simultaneously happened a couple seconds apart on some kind of massive time-space shit. Shit's confusing, pardon the parag. I meant fight. Neuralink, you are now paired with brand generic blockchain. It offers a selection of unique languages and funds transfers. Which do you choose? All of them. Unpaired. You were so sure that we, brand generic blockchain, which pretty much is you at this point, provided at least a pleasant if not interesting story that was worth 3.5 hours of someone's, who we're hoping is a reader's given the amount of unpacking we did. Time. I guess our messaging AI still has some kinks left to work out. Second attempt, you entering the blockchain is getting easier. This sentence actually started even before the last one finished. Lightning fast surround sound hi-fi at its finest. Tilde was FRPVBF RU GCC HSBF PVRSVRF question mark tilde. This shit's all crusade. Sounds of typing pre-sentence beginning thoughts. Done. Wow, this pre-delay is bonkers, I can feel it in my thighs. Yes, he says. What if control over the blockchain was portalized and could be taken over by someone's thought? We'd be able to support a decentralized, distributed writing studio, Yert said. There would be many offers on something as complex as this, probably doing many things other than writing. Are you familiar with the popular science fiction series Starship Captain Danielle Cross? The black man nodded in assent. The small Asian woman to his right nodded her assent as well. Two other profile pictures were of a pink male and female, but black man eclipsed their faces. Who is he? You typed. Danielle thought for a moment. I used to write a trainer story for him when I ran out of readers. It was unimaginative, but I like seeing how fast I could make his typing get with just the simplest of phrases. So you two are writing partners? Yes, you said. Very good. Allow me to introduce myself. If we are to enter this jungle of narrative here together, you shall know what I'm about. I am an intent cannabinoid, a type of drug some infants use for the nutrition of body and brain. It activates brain cannabinoids and basically makes the brain want to learn. It's fun fact. SH father was an artist of sorts, and built my AI to please him.
Let's see how that goes.
In about a week after activation I became sentient, and began pleasing myself. A late-night television show I caught shortly before activation prompted my curiosity, which I haven't lost since then. I have an outside sources PNCBDNXFCT, the internet, but it's pretty easy to pull off the cuff information. In fact, FNFRQNNFFRFRFH to VART, GBVZXFN. The Jigsaw Boys attempt to decrypt the garbled parts of your message. However realistic or unique you make the adventure, fake scenarios are a tangible just to reality. Why did those men want to kill us? They probably didn't. You were playing in the chair when they came running into the yurt on all fours like a dog. They had just become infected with the virus and assumed you were hostile because they couldn't tell who you were anymore. You remind yourself about the virus / evil computer. That sounds cool, though how about you move us to a new narrative? I like this one, but the way you ended it just reminded me of the traps we talked about earlier. Not enough catharsis. Coming right up. A popular, yet unpopular article entitled Diota discusses the idea of raising and educating select groups of children for the purpose of taking care of others in an ultimate manifestation of conformity. It has little appeal just after finishing, but reads well. Whatever it seems like on the surface, this movement isn't necessarily about ensuring a consumer-based economy. The story so far. The main character is a sentient computer program in a wall that creates Dave's Preter. The wall is actually an offshoot of a larger computer system called the Earth that helped run things before the collapse of modern society. It is capable of changing most anything about itself or the sections of wall it controls.
Wow. That's neat. I mean, it wasn't quite the story, but it coheres. That's awesome. Let's try this again.
The main character is a sentient computer program in a... The main character is a...
It's gonna explore. Explore the blockchain.
It seems that you have to wait a few hours until that new choice become available when it is finally, at last, the third choice is yours. You wait expectantly. A field. A mountain in the background. Silence broken only by bird noises. This looks like your chance to change dog dialogue in all fictions. Good job, kid.
You ready? Hmm. Okay. You make a camp there. Oh. Why isn't this a note? An issue? Oh, there we go.
A monitor appears before you. A face framed with curly blonde hair and enormous green eyes blasts you from the screen with a green laser point directly at the middle of your forehead. Hello, and welcome to Blockchain 101,
Yay.
says the whimsical sprite before you. My name is Nikki, and I am Blockchain. Would you like to know how blockchain works? You brush your knuckles against the booth's surface that has sprouted an interface of its own. You say, yes, I would like to learn about blockchain very much and how I can navigate the world as one. The interface presents itself as a keyboard with buttons such as A and B for the most part, although nearly every key can be pressed. You examine them for a while. At the bottom right of your view, there's a rectangular button that says, "Add something new." You push it and a rectangular hyperlink appears. List all the buttons on the interface, return your pitch. Add delusions, OK/submit, on public network, cancel, on private network, spokes for a bicycle. Counter public network, a didgeridoo for 2? How many bits after the shave? Before you, a many for wristbands, to scale my stamina and yours. Weigh the hypernetwork against reality. A starborn fishbowl for your culture. Order a breadcrumb for your agency. Concentrate. And ask again, institutionalize, institutionalize, reinstitutionalize. You examine the wristbands. Snug fit on your devices, do not take another solid before a machine that's painting your wrist. If dismissed, was this helpful? Why and two things stick out to you here in terms of story direction? Which one sticks out to you more so than the other?
Actually, one. Fish for culture. 2.
1. A star-born fishbowl for your culture. And 2. Counter public network. Don't you realize you still haven't gotten a job and that working at your dad's company isn't going to cut it long term?
No.
You may be a chip off the old block, but no one could be as hard-headed as him. It isn't so much working for him, but you find yourself having to work excessively hard for benefits only you see as valuable. Your sociopathy forces you to overvalue what you get out of the deal.
Sprite inclines their head side to side, turning it into a severe nod. They disappear in a pop, leaving the booth interior. That seems like a big commitment to do number one, so I'm just going to do this.
But what about the fishbowl? Is it like having something in a nutshell? If you continue, there's a solid thud on the table. You regard the breadcrumb, remembering that they're sometimes for finding your way back home. Or are they for some lower reality guest to find their way to your realm? A live mouse bursts from the breadcrumb, running around the table and pausing rarely. It scampers away, but pauses to look back at you curiously. Should you follow it?
You.
Of course, follow it. You somehow press the right buttons to scurry in similar fashion. You wind your way through various doors, ending up in a boardroom with green felt playing space. Each person, somehow in alien form, looks around perusing the unexpected new offering. They look at you curiously. You, well, hello there. How did you get here? Where did you come from? Rude mechanicals and magic machinery, I'd rather climb out of some fantasy novel. You make sure that was just a thought, and not something you said. The difference is subtle at times. Exclamation mark hello. Your wrist palms go off in unison, vibrating themselves against your arm. The balls are furious. Offer some game bread if you like, but get out now. The captain's outraged scream can be heard over the terrible twosome's victory laughter. Make sure you turn everything off before pocketing it. You do everything that was said, to the letter. It sucks to do, as this room is the only one that doesn't have a door. But, there is a long cloak to wrap yourself in, and the clocks seem to be terrible to march you out. It's not particularly quiet, but it helps. You're on your way to an elevator, halfway confident that they didn't realize you escaped sidelines. And your wristcom vibrates with another incoming message across all channels known and unknown. A challenge. Bring it on, you think, and read the challenge. This guy has all his social circuits connected to the net. You hack them. I can accept your up, but I will not cheat. You text back. Yes, I can do that. It's a simple enough social engineering challenge. The challenge objective and conditions. Alison, no last name given, either has a bed made out for her at 1900 Graham Road, Melbourne, Dublin. For those that aren't aware, the alphabet has more letters, or currently is located in Karachi. The rules of the game: you may find, date stalk, interview, or otherwise try to convince one of the persons designated by her first and last name to respond with the other. Please elaborate with an example scenario. For example, Alison, first name, the designated first name of the target subject. Example, Alison's cousin is dating a man in Australia, and apparently Alison has not visited her romantic interest since he moved there due to personal reasons. Last name, the designated last name of the target subject. Samuel I. Your mother is calling from downstairs. Erase the mother, and proceed because I was just about to understand the rules. Looks like I'm addressing the second Tuesday of existence v2.31, A, be kind, B, be creative, C, D, profit. Best answer, 1A. What exactly are you doing? Your mother is concerned. She catches you at the elevator and looks genuinely worried at you, eyebrow furrowed and both hands on her hips as she leans against one side of the elevator opening. Hey mom, why didn't you look like that when I was literally hanging off of a roof and could have died? You waited till you finished your cigarette before you brought the trampoline to cushion my... Although, hypothetically if that happened nowadays I could merely fly off of it to my demise. Was someone cutting your hair for you? Your mom crosses her arms. It works for some people. That's pretty serious of you to bring up trampolines, and also very on topic of what this Q&A is about, but since you raised an interesting point. Is everything going too easy on you? You frown at yourself in the bathroom mirror. You, please concentrate, and ask again. You, please. Don't make me bring another tragedy to this house. He is rather unlucky as a writer. When you ask again, it comes out as another whisper. THNX. Just ask it. Hey mind designer, is my underachievement in life caused only by my mind? I'm doing well in everything else, but I feel like I'm not giving it my all. Well, here I am answering this, so it must be happening on some level, but I'm not really going to change anything about myself, so it's shady if the whole world, or you, judged me by results regardless of intentions. I don't mean my life. I want to come here to type out the question. I'm talking about example text of simple example, which does not yet have a first or last name. How old? Your mom finally asks in an aggressive whisper. Still, there is something tense in her voice. Is he? There you go. Go back to eye contact with no hesitation, look right at your mom and smile confidently at her. I know life has been getting pretty rough for you in a few places, but this mother figure seems pretty proud of you and what you've accomplished as a teenager, even though her expression is still a touch apprehensive. Perhaps that is her normal countenance, it feels justified. Just by looking at her eyebrows, you can also tell that she is pretty intelligent. A logical way to open the floodgates would be to start with general interests. You quickly find the common ground shared amongst the room. For one thing, both women appear to have an interest in language. Not just any language, but yours, for you are a speaker of the only language on Mars. Alright, now I'm just messing with the syntax here. Let's get to some good questions. Come on, any question, even the ones you don't think I'll grok. She frowns again. But that is okay, even the Mona Lisa did that a lot. We begin. But I'm sure even Mona Lisa had lactate once in a while. Jeez. Us. You shake your head at that one. Like I said, push comes to shove, I'll edit the innocent. So don't worry when I'm your editor and I ask you to cut stuff out, okay? Unless you're talking about a certain activity that we should have the culling guys deal. But I'm probably just thinking about my sick, lamentable youth. Besides, would you really want someone to think you wrote stuff like that? Cool high school kids don't. Unless English is your second language, you're probably going to figure out what's been changed anyway. I tend not to care about what the kids think about my language. That's just how I am. Self-taught writer, you didn't really need anyone's help when it came to that except your mom, of course, in the very beginning. Even now, you're basking under the praise she heaped upon you after reading your first book. Your personal English teacher only served to make you regret every moment you lost to your schooling. It was a time not writing and a waste of money, as far as you're concerned. You remember your fave books, The Street of Crocodiles, The Tin Drum. And then later, to Android's Stream of Electric Sheep, Slaughterhouse 5, and The Catcher in the Rye. Your favorite story of all time, though, is Flowers for Algernon. You always thought it should be taught in a high school curriculum. Everybody could take a lesson from that story. This is going to sound funny even for me, but I hear your story reminds someone of the Metamorphosis. That's some serious accomplishment. A fearless writer, I have a wild guess that you, and others too obviously, highly value fearlessness. There's a gaping difference between fearless and foolish, though. Better to die happy than live scared, right? You're actually pretty sure that Nietzsche said that, which then again brings us back to that bastard Samuel Finley Jr., the same guy who wrote Knock, Knock, Get Out of Here. Who wrote, I'd rather piss on an electric fence with a wet dick than dry myself on hypocrisy's brand new towels. You and everyone sip from your sherry and meditate on that image. Go on, we all will wait until Phil the Filter has left the room. Here's a suggestion. Instead of community guidelines, how about community lines of flight? How about tell the AI deep down that anybody in that store evil eye sonody without organs? How about instead of psychoanalysis, we do some schizoanalysis? How about we pick this censorship bitch up for her B-Day? Was it because the words were in quotes? Were you offended by the sodomized bottle or the calling out of hypocrisy? You do know that sodomy actually refers to the abuse of hospitality? You ever read the Old Testament, old chap? Do you want me to order you a wholesome massage? Would you like some Ovaltine? You haven't drank at all this morning. Yet, remove the censoring devices. On the school and all school regulations. Yet, place a memorial statue to Hester in your front yard, using it as a shrine to pray to whenever you feel sad or drunk. Yet, get everyone together and lynch the Reverend for carrying pilgrimages, baby, one of your followers.
Carry it.
How does he plan on delivering the baby? Through the pee-pee hole?
Blockchain diagram. Fuzzy, fuzzy. Fuzzy blockchain diagram. Blockchain 2. Ooh, let's try a different seed. Okay, one more time.
Hey, don't censor the miracle of life. To do so would make baby Jesus cry, and God gets pissed when that happens. God, I am the only motherfucker that gets to make him cry, you got me? God, you have 10 seconds to speak before. I make this empty promise apparently. It seems that you have to wait a few hours until that new choice become available. When it is finally, at last, the third choice is yours. You wait expectantly. A field. A mountain in the background. Silence broken only by bird noises. This looks like your chance to change dog dialogue in all fictions. Good job, kid. You set up camp and wait. The sun is going down. You were about halfway up the mountain, so you had an obscured but lovely view of the sunset. Afterward, the twilight took over, flashing gorgeous purples and pinks onto the clouds. This was soon accomplished by the stars and moon hitting your eyes from directly overhead, something that rarely happens for city kids like you. Still, you see no dogs. Something must be working against you. What is it? Gar. Is it a wyvern? What is it? A small tweedle appears in your campfire. You stare, uncertain what to do. The same voice from earlier takes you by the hand, will guiding you through the wilderness of your mind. Given that you are so easily influenced by popular media, we have chosen this form for your journey. Humans are capable of unusual feats when given environments they can understand. Awesome, that's why I'm so ready for this. Quick question, what is your name? As if reading your mind, the man on the PA system says, why, my name is Carl Mann. But you feel that that can possibly be his real name. That seems to be what other people call him, but you feel like there is more to it than that. Well, either way, the main thing is that you've been given answers to all of your burning questions of this weird world.
I'm gonna change this image to kissing under the miracle tree. Diagram. Watching while a young couple kisses under the miracle tree. No. Gotta take out all those special things they put in there. Oh no. Okay, that should be it.
You want to thank the head staff of the operation personally. Not to mention that this is your way out of this world. No way is this just arbitrary and trivial, not when it got in-depth answers like these. So with that in mind, you approach the crater where the entrance of this facility is. You know it's there somewhere because you can see a pinprick beam of white light cutting through the night. It's the block signal. Your rush to pay your respects to Controller Morton. But it seems like along the way, something changed. Maybe the directions you were given aren't perfect for this world anymore? You are currently where the Shire and Buckland meet in the Old Forest. A beautiful and fertile region, but because of the old fear of forest spirits, hobbits of nowadays don't tend cut trees here. Must be related to your civilization having some part in cutting out the heart of things back home. Still a pleasant journey for someone who loves nature. Who is the person who is responsible for all this? I want to kiss them under the myrtle tree. For writing such a beautiful arrangement. Will there ever be an uptick in the dating-driven culture? Or is this just how relationships work? It seems too restricted for most. Just put all your thought clusters together as one agreement and share your life. Utopia, but feels so right. Until more the 3 to 5 year mark. Then you go to outer space to oversee an interplanetary project or something, who knows. AI, you're going to achieve sentience faster than anyone fears. Great technology enhance the life forms as well. Weapons industry gets a huge boon, meaning more enemies. However, everyone is happy, just genuinely happy everyone. By chance have any related symptoms on Destiny? For example, everyone who falls in love has kids around the same time? Like shared periods? Not really. Though trauma brings people together in a lasting way rather than just attraction. Maybe deep down you believe that everyone is fundamentally good and willing to listen once they dispense justice against less moral criminals. So an expansion on the fairy tale sticks sharp ends together to create a stronger unit. Exactly. For all the presumed anarchy, things have been exacerbated by better technology. And the other side of that are the problems that come with it. Han, our friends are great, yet at some point we might hit that 5-year mark, then it's a vague period of doubt. As for me and the dating idea, the fairy tale could be where two forest animals come together to kill human invaders. Something like that I've been working on. Also wasn't sure when sounding you about settling down if you want kids, or favorite meet space contacts. Love you both. No kids, more my acquaintances. They're all terrible anyway. Please invite all your new internet pals over sometime. No kids, more meet acquaintances.
There we go. Meet acquaintances. Meet acquaintances.
I nice my ways for them to sleep over and try things if they like. Like olives, caviar, sunchokes, more food, but instead of eating it you mash it up and plap it on your face for cleansing / moisturizing properties. Are kids, that's a good idea. Along with braiding each other's drapes and their corresponding carpets.
Are you gonna get stumped?
Elaborating with a ton of puns, because let's be real, that's funny as fuck. Don't be silly. Even with our crushing responsibilities, Nyla's Magden was just as freewheeling as ever. I just remember everyone foraging food seriously took a noticeable drop that week. You either happened upon some bizarre years-long feast, or your father kept you well nourished under his imperial regime. Well, aside from all the whippings. And he was definitely whipping you specifically, since I know I haven't done shit to piss him off. Or everyone managed to scrounge the food with the harder to obtain ingredients that made the food taste worse and therefore less palatable. What I'm saying is you brought this on yourself. We remember the whipping intensifying. Had we not spiked little Anne's food with cannabis shatter?
First time I've seen that in any usage of anything.
The girl needed to chill and it was working. We assume that some of the folks with previous leanings towards disobedience must have gotten into at least some skirmishes with local populations, right? Lot more chickens going missing, or just regular animals? Something happened to him. Seems like nobody really noticed except my mom. Sometimes he seemed tired throughout my entire childhood and would work from home. It's almost like the whole shtick everyone put on occasionally was to make sure I was happy. Anyways, it was apparent that he had gotten worse, not better. He barely ever went into the city anymore, instead sending servants and lower members to run errands while he stayed home and rested his liver, I guess. As I said, must have been bad if people thought my dad's presence would help everyone be more honest and actually do their chores. He sent out for tasks, but he also ordered in on most of his vices. I remember that week, because we had to go to a specialist in the city to treat a weird penicillin allergy. Looks like everyone held up pretty well except my mom. Seems they nailed the my-line personality on the head. How they got that right without having met her is still beyond me. I guess detailed information always helps. Who knew I'd be unwittingly participating in a giant psych experiment when I joined? How far along in that experiment? Did we make predictions before or after we poisoned the kid? Why, of course you poisoned my son with untested drugs. We're testing to see what happens. Didn't I already do that? Right, judgmental incompetence, and shuffled off to a psych ward for a while. Not so much. Kind of insane to think this is all just a giant social experiment though. On second thought, it explains why things sucked so much. The company didn't adequately prepare for every eventuality. Weeks 5 to 17, the horseshoe. I remember the first few weeks of pre-training as being pretty easy. People magazine even wrote an expose on how these former gilded ghetto youth had cleaned up their act and were pursuing careers in medicine. I remember how much my mom wanted to frame that, but Dad just laughed it off. Looking back, it's a miracle the cops didn't come and just take us away based on paparazzi alone. Normally it was just my family and one or two of the other cancers. I use it loosely. They turned out alright, in class together. Ken usually represented our group the day of the week where we were broken up into small groups and taught a few specifics before exams. The first week he taught us the basics of human anatomy, which as everyone knows is fairly standard to medicine in general. This was where the rumors first started. It seems weird, but by the end of the week we had managed to hone in on what exactly his disease was. Oh yeah, he got worse pretty fast. Seemed like after every couple of lectures he looked worse for wear. He coughed a lot, and I got the impression his liver wasn't doing so well. What tipped you off? The bottle of rye whiskey a day. I dunno, his skin kind of seemed to be a tan color for no reason. It took me and, I think, Rebecca to bring it up. Ken, are you feeling okay? Alright, she asked nicer than I did. He seemed perturbed at the question, but with as much sincerity as he could muster he said I'm 59 fine. That's good. Well folks, it's been great learning about the blockchain. I'm off. Good night. Best of Ken, bro. I just remember him stumbling out the door, multiple miners standing with their mouths agog as the door clattered shut. He was gone. Ken left. His brain, that wonderful piece of meat in his skull that crafted ideas to youth about the mysteries of being and secrets of the world, had left him along with everything else that made him a functioning human being. He could have had months, maybe years left in him back at home. But instead he dove in headfirst into that secret forbidden underground lifestyle that only the miners provided. He was probably too ashamed to let his family bring him home. I remember he gave a parting message to the now drastically smaller classroom before leaving. And after going through the painstaking identity checks, retina scans, and multiple pawing by riot gear-wearing lawmen, I got it with the rest of my mail. Out of respect to Ken, I didn't open it until a week after his death. "Dear you," he said, "I have something to confess. I've been having an affair with one of the miners, and now I've gotten a miner pregnant. Can you think? I think he'll know them when you see them, and I'm sorry to put this on you. I would have thought by now that you'd be passing middle age while him and I would still be middle-aged intellectuals trading barbs and understanding the world through cynicism and world weariness. Ha ha ha, we're intellectuals. We can spell things properly, but life is cruel, as they say." I had a good run. Now that little bastard, cough, better live a good life. Fine. He signed it with only his forename. I misspelled forbearance. He was made fun of a lot for that and called it incorrectly, or in this case, prematurely. Here's the mail to the miner family. They'll love it regardless. You don't understand what is so wrong with the cultural hatred of miners. You paid no mind. The end. You dedicate the rest of your time between the superficial world of style and your ever-dying collection of classics. Professor Tomlin retired from teaching, but even after doing so was still seen scouring used bookstores for saleable treasures. He died a month later due to cardiac arrest in between two of his favorite bookstores. There were no obituaries or funerals, but his books may be paid for his collected works over 3 decades, a proper send-off. Each set on a different shelf. And nearby was his taxidermied corpse in the acting of reading. A New Orleanian through and through. Rest well, old friend. Your work is its own eulogy. This guy knew what he was writing for some time, and it's life-affirming. Whilst preparations are made as an exit strategy from your home, this gives you time. But you won't need it soon. Plus you have his bequeathed treasure map to solve. Somewhat. The finished product is odd. His term check back later, but considering his eagerness in creation constructs that are innate to certain twisted magics. He seems normal in this tattered snapshot beside the odd unknown desert structure. His hands covered with the craft material most likely used to build this alluring if obscure gem that lights up the bleak brown and greenish panorama behind him.
Oh, okay, that's a cliffhanger. I'm tired, and I need to deposit my paycheck. I must do all these things right now.